everyone? Welcome to another director ranking. This time, my personal favorite director, David Lynch. Such a wonderful string of movies here. And let's start from the beginning with Eraserhead. Again, there's no spoilers in this video. This will be briefly talking about each movie, not going into too much detail. And Eraserhead, for me, gotta be in the God tier. It's one of the strange... This was my first David Lynch movie, and it was a very strange experience, and every time you think about it, I hold it in higher regard. You know, I originally rated it 4 stars, but then on reevaluation, I rated it 4.5. Now I have it at full-blown 5-star masterpiece. It's Lynch at his most Lynchian, if you want to say that. The Elephant Man. Now, this isn't Lynch. This isn't too Lynchian, but it just is a great film. I have it at 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. You know, obviously we get wonderful performances from John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins here in the lead roles, and it's kind of an emotional tale, but it's by the end, you know, it is kind of a heartwarming but still tragic story. So yeah, Elephant Man, it's a classic, one of the better movies of 1980. Now we have Dune. Now Dune by itself, as the cut that was released, is bad. But if you go to YouTube, and this is on YouTube, and search Dune Redux, right now it'll be the first thing that pops up, and it's a 3-hour version that's intended. I mean, the thing about Dune is that it was, if you read the story behind it, it was immensely cut down by the studio, and that's why it's so disjointed. So I'm going to put it in the Mets here because most people have seen the theatrical version. But if you watch the Dune Redux, I think you will definitely enjoy it more and find some appreciation for it. So I have Dune rated 2.5 stars because I think there are some like technical aspects that I like, and I think there's potential. But if I had to rate the Redux of Dune, it's actually, I would rate it probably 3.5, or maybe on reevaluation 4. So definitely check out that fan edit. Now Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet. It's David Lynch's best yet. Don't want to say anything because the beauty of this film is just going down the rabbit hole. I mean, this is, you know, you got Kyle MacLachlan, Laura Dern, you got Isabella Rossellini, Dennis Hopper, amazing. I don't want to say anything about it because I think just going in blind, but this is one of the best movies you'll ever see, and it's definitely the best movie of 1986. Now we come to Twin Peaks, the original 2 seasons. Now, I do kind of want to rate all of Twin Peaks together because it's one story. Now, so I'm gonna gloss over it for now and talk about it at the end. Wild at Heart, this is one of David Lynch's most enjoyable films for me. It's just it is wild. But it's so much fun. I'll put it top of the great tier. Honestly, you know, this might be in reevaluation. I might rate it just 5 stars. But I have it at 4.5 now. You know, Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern are great in their roles, and they really transform you into it. But the story it tells, you know, these two lovers on the run, there's so many like insane moments, and there's great visuals. The story, it's wild. There's great moments, Lynchian stuff, but it's Lynch at his most fun, I think. Like, I would not call Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, Elephant Man, or Dune fun, but Wild at Heart, that's a fun movie. You know, we'll talk about Twin Peaks last, so we go to Lost Highway. Now, Lost Highway, for me, is a masterpiece. Now, Roger Ebert gave Lost Highway 2 stars. What? I mean, this movie, after first watch, I was completely befuddled. But for me, it's got to go in the God tier. Now, I don't think it's as good as Eraserhead, but it's definitely up there. I mean, I don't want to say too much about it, but you know, you can't even say who Patricia Arquette portrays in the movie. Who does she play? I can't even answer that. There's just a lot. It doesn't make sense, but there's actually a line in the film that I keep coming back to that kind of explains everything. Now, I don't think I should say it yet, but if you want to watch Lost Highway, and you'll probably, definitely on second watch, but most likely on first watch, probably will be able to tell what that line is, because it's a pretty memorable line. The Straight Story. Now, you know, this is one of the other ones with the Elephant Man that he didn't write. He just got hired on to do. And I was watching, I believe it's the video, you know, if you've watched any David Lynch related video on YouTube, you get recommended the video David Lynch in Conversation. And I believe he says it here. The Straight Story is my most experimental film. And on the surface, that comment seems just like a Lynchian sort of comment there because it's his most straightforward, right? But for him, just doing this straightforward story actually is his most experimental for him. Because doing stuff like Eraserhead, that's normal for him. So this is the opposite. And I do think this is a great movie, a heartwarming tale, emotional. Got great performances, great moments. And it's just about a guy on his lawnmower. And I think it's an awesome movie. And it's an underrated gem in the Lynch catalog. David Lynch has a legendary filmography here with only one bad one. And even that one, if you watch the fan edit, then he has no bad ones. But, yeah, Straight Story is an underrated gem that I think I'll come back to and appreciate even more in the years to come. Mulholland Drive. It's a tough one. Because, is it Blue Velvet at the top, or is it Mulholland Drive at the top? It's, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter how many times. If I watch Mulholland Drive most recently, that's going to be my top, and if I watch Blue Velvet most recently, that's going to be the top. So right now, Mulholland Drive is the more popular film. You know, it's the more well-renowned. So I guess I'll put that at the top. And I do love Naomi Watts in it. So we got Mulholland Drive. I don't want to spoil too much, but basically, I don't want to say anything about it because this is another one like Blue Velvet. It's best just to go down the rabbit hole. You know, and you probably have seen it because it's a pretty popular movie. So I definitely recommend it to everyone. Inland Empire. You know, David Lynch, this is his last feature film that he made. And actually I'm going to watch it later today. So I get to watch it for the second time today. But on first viewing alone, it's definitely in the God tier. This is David Lynch at his most Lynchian, quote-unquote, since Eraserhead. You know, this is a 3-hour epic here of just pure Lynch. It's insane. You know, the first time I watched it, by the end of it, I had no clue what's going on. Now, I'm watching it again today, and I want to see if I get it more, because that's the thing. David Lynch movies. Every time you watch them, you get a new appreciation and understanding of them. So, Inland Empire, awesome. Laura Dern, really stellar here. And she plays like 10 characters. So, I don't know. Now we go to our Twin Peaks saga here. Now, I want to look at Twin Peaks as a whole. And, you know, you might be saying, how do you rank a TV show against movies? Now, I actually, and I've just finished this up recently, I made a fan edit of Twin Peaks. Now, I took the original Twin Peaks. There's 30 episodes in total. Now, I cut down all the side storylines and just focused on the Laura Palmer story from season 2 from the premiere to season 2 episode 9. And I actually did keep in the Audrey getting kidnapped storyline, even though I condensed it a little, because I do think that creates for one of the most exciting moments of the show when they have to get her back. And then I condensed after season 2 episode 9. Obviously, David Lynch leaves, and the show takes a bit of a downturn until the finale. Now, there's a fan edit that edits everything out and just ends at the solving of Laura Palmer's murder. But I kept in everything to build up to the finale, because the finale ties into the return. So I cut Twin Peaks down to 10 hours. Fire Walk with Me. They recast Donna, and it's like, it's a little jarring. I'm actually seeing Fire Walk with Me pretty soon with Laura Palmer and the girl who played Laura Palmer, Cheryl Lee, and the guy who played Bobby at the Music Box Theater in Chicago, September 4th. Be there, be square. So that should be awesome. Pretty surreal, actually, to have the main character be right there watching it with you. But I actually did the hashtag Not My Donna cut of the movie, and I added in a lot of the stuff from the missing pieces too. There's a lot of good scenes, but there's also a lot of meh scenes from the missing pieces. So I added a lot of them in, creating a 3-hour cut of that movie without the new Donna. Then we have Twin Peaks: The Return. I cut that down to just the Cooper stuff and stuff related to that, and stuff related to the finale that ties in. But a lot of the Dougie stuff that doesn't really play out, I cut. And a lot of the side storylines from the characters from Twin Peaks I cut. And I created a 10-hour version of The Return, too. So it's kind of like a trilogy. Well, it is a trilogy, and I made a poster for it. So we got Twin Peaks is part 1 of the trilogy, then Fire Walk with Me part 2, and then part 3, The Return. So ranking it as that, as this trilogy, if you look at it as a whole, I do think gotta put it in the God tier. Then the missing pieces I'll put in the Met tier, because by itself, well, if you're rating it against the Dune Redux, I think I'm going to put it below it. If you're rating it against the original Dune, I would put it above it. But I'll just I'll advertise the fan edit. So, but Twin Peaks. If you didn't know, Twin Peaks, the missing piece is just deleted scenes from Fire Walk with Me. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything about Twin Peaks in specific. If you want to see my fan edits, they're not the best made, but I think they get the point across extremely well. They were just made personally for me, for rewatch purposes. But maybe I'll post them on, if you could send me your email, comment your email or something, and if you really want them, I'll email them to you. Yeah, I mean, if you want a condensed version, don't want to sit through Twin Peaks Season 2 or something like that, or the Dougie stuff if you don't like that. But overall, that's my Lynch rating. It has nothing in the trash tier, except if you're looking at doing an original cut, maybe. But if you've taken fan edits into consideration, and I'm a supporter of fan edits myself, I think if you don't like a movie, and there's a way that you can like it, then why not, right? So, next time, I will be doing a Quentin Tarantino ranking. I still have a Scorsese ranking. I still have Bong Joon-ho. I still have, let's see. I think that's it. Just a couple left here. David Fincher. Christopher Nolan. And then I do want to do... On my new watch list I'm watching every Nicolas Cage movie, so I want to rank all his performances there. Just rewatching Vampire's Kiss last night. I think that's got to be number 1. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Go watch some David Lynch stuff.